It's a bird. It's a plane. Nope, it's Darwin Nunez, swooping in with a last-gasp winner for Liverpool in stoppage time. Love him or question him, Nunez has been a polarizing figure amongst the fans since arriving at Anfield. But one thing's for sure, when it comes to clutch moments, the Uruguayan knows how to deliver. Time and time again, he's stepped up when it matters most. So, how crucial has he been to Liverpool's success? And how does his goal-scoring record stack up against the club's all-time greats? Stick around, hit that like button, and let's dive in. Where do we even start with Darwin? The guy's been a hot topic among Liverpool fans ever since he joined from Benfica in the summer of 2022. On one hand, he's a fighter on the pitch that has earned him a special place in the hearts of the Anfield faithful. On the other, he can be frustrating to watch at times. There's no doubt he has got this knack for missing big chances, making poor decisions in the final third, and wandering offside more than anyone would like. But despite all of these, performances like the one against a red-hot Brentford in game week 22 keep winning him points with the fans. Just when you think he's done, he drops in with the spectacular. Liverpool fired off 35 shots without scoring against Brentford on Saturday afternoon in a nail-biting contest, and it seemed like they were heading for yet another frustrating result. The Reds, who at some point were cruising comfortably in the Premier League title race, were on the verge of dropping more points. 3 draws in a row had already slowed their momentum, and they had second-place Arsenal lurking in the shadows, ready to close the gap. But then everything changed when he stepped onto the pitch. The former Benfica man did what he knows how to do best, delivering goals in injury time to seal a 2-0 win and secure all 3 points for Liverpool. His 2 goals against Brentford got some of us wondering, just how clutch is Darwin Nunez? Well, get this, he's got 3 90th-minute winners away from home in the Premier League. No one in the league's history has done that more times than him. Yep, you heard that right. And to refresh your memory, before his late winner against Brentford this season, Nunez pulled off some absolute heroics last year. Remember his double against Newcastle? He came on, equalised in the 81st minute, and then bagged the winner in the 93rd. Oh, and let's not forget his 99th minute winner against Nottingham Forest to seal a 1-0 win for Klopp's men. And check this out, since the start of last season, he's scored 6 goals after the 80th minute, putting him in elite company. Only Mohamed Salah and Erling Haaland have managed more in that time. Not bad for a guy who doesn't see that much action these days. But wait, there's more. Nunez also holds the record for the most 90th minute winners away from home in the Premier League's history. Do you understand how crazy that is? In a league that has seen some of the most clutch strikers of all time, the Uruguayan has that record to himself in just 3 seasons. If you searched for clutch in the dictionary, you're probably going to find a picture of Nunez sitting there, smiling like he knows he's that guy. Sure, the people can find him frustrating, but even his critics can't deny his impact. Fans on X are always quick to point that out, and that is why it would be stupid to get rid of Nunez. He's been a clutch player for us a fair few times now. You can't deny that. As much as I criticise Nunez, and let's be honest, a lot of it is warranted. There's no better dopamine hit than when he scores a clutch goal to win the game for us. I just hope he uses this to get more consistent in front of the goal and fight to stay here. Staying consistent in front of goal, that's what every Liverpool fan is crying out from him. Even the gaffer seems to be sharing the same sentiment with this statement from the other day. The most difficult thing in football is to fight for consistency. Only a few players in the world are able to be at the same level every 3 days. Darwin has shown that he can play at a high level, but the next step for him is to join the bracket of 5, 6 or 7 players in the world who are outstanding every 3 days. Focus on impact and goals. Sounds like a clarion call from the fan base and the coach, and honestly, you can't blame them. Before that Brentford game, the 25-year-old hadn't scored in the Premier League since November. In fact, he has only found the back of the net twice in the league since April of last year. For someone who arrived with an £85 million price tag, you can see why the hot and cold label have stuck with him since his move to Anfield in 2022. Despite arriving at Liverpool with a stellar 30% shot conversion rate from his time at Benfica, the big man has quickly found out that finishing in the Premier League is a whole different challenge. He doesn't help himself with one ridiculous miss to another, and the fan base were beginning to lose hope with him, with tweets like this from his first season. Giving up on Nunez now. This fan base treats him like a baby. 18 months into his time here, and he's on a 10-game goal drought. Every excuse under the sun has been afforded to him. Most expensive signing in the club's history, and you get half a dozen good games a season. Useless. Sounds kinda harsh, but who could blame the fan base? In Nunez's debut season, he managed to convert just 12.7% of his shots across all competitions. things didn't get much better last season, with that number falling to 11%. Even after his 2 goals against Brentford, his shot conversion rate this season has only edged up slightly to 11.8%. For context, every other Liverpool forward who played at least 200 minutes this season has a shot conversion of 19.4% or higher. But then again, Nunez's goal return hasn't been awful by any stretch. In his first season at Liverpool, he scored 15 goals across all competitions, and he followed that up with an impressive 18 goals and 13 assists in the 23-24 campaign. The issue, though, is that it feels like he should be scoring even more, especially considering the numbers of chances he gets. His game numbers reflect that frustration. He's getting into great positions but not finishing as often as he should. Still, many pundits have cut him some slack, arguing that the number of opportunities he creates for himself is a sign that the goals will eventually come. And they have a point. In 22-23, no player in the Premier League who had at least 1,000 minutes managed more shots per 90 than Nunez, who averaged 4.5. He went even higher last season, taking 4.8 shots per 90. That volume of attempts means that even with a below-par conversion rate, he has been able to score fairly regularly. Maybe Darwin Núñez's numbers would look even better if luck was on his side. Since the start of the 23-24 season, no player has been more unlucky, with Núñez hitting the woodwork a staggering 9 times. To put that into perspective, he even set a record, becoming the first player in Premier League history to hit the woodwork 4 times in a single game, since Opta started keeping track in 2003. But here's where the debates get interesting. While the critics might have a point about his struggles, the Núñez fanbase has the receipts too. Núñez has now scored the joint second most 90-plus minute goals in the Premier League for Liverpool, level with legends like Steven Gerrard and Fernando Torres, both on 5. The only player ahead of him is Sadio Mane with 6. That's elite company to be in, especially for someone who's only scored 24 goals in the competition so far. And check this out. Did you know he has more top-flight goal involvements as a substitute than anyone else since he joined the league? 7 goals and 4 assists off the bench. That's impact. Do we have a super sub on our hands already? Núñez still has a long way to go to be with the ranks of the very best. His 7 goals are still quite far from a certain Jermaine Defoe, who managed an impressive 24. But with his current form and determination, could Núñez be the one to challenge that record? Can he rise to the occasion and make his mark as one of the Premier League's all-time great super subs? Well, it seems like some fans are already catching the vision with tweets like this. Núñez ceiling is super sub. Núñez as a super sub will instill the fear of God into opposition teams. And how about those comparisons to another super sub Liverpool cult hero, Divock Origi? If you missed that one, I'd be glad to tell you that they're starting to roll in, and honestly, they're not far off. Origi carved out his legacy at Anfield with his ability to deliver in big moments. His 41 goals for Liverpool may not seem like a big deal, but it's the context of these goals that made him a legend at Anfield. Less than 30% of the Belgian strikes came off the bench, yet he had a knack for stepping up in big games. Who can forget his 90th minute winner against Everton at Anfield, or his crucial contribution in the 2019 Champions League final, where he put the game to bed with Liverpool's second goal against Tottenham? And of course, there's that night against Barcelona. His brace in Liverpool's historic 4-0 victory overturned a 3-goal deficit from the first leg, sending the team to Madrid in one of the most unforgettable comebacks in football history. Who says Núñez can't be that guy too? Fans are leaning into the idea too, tweeting gems like this. I think the best way to handle Núñez is to make him our Origi. He's clutch coming off the bench either way. Origi must be looking at Núñez proudly. Darwin Nunez, just like Origi, is a cult kind of player. They pop up when all hope seems lost. It sounds like a lot of praise, but that's the Darwin Núñez effect these days. And we might not know it yet, but those 2 clutch goals against Brentford might be the ones that ultimately seal the league title for Liverpool. How many times have we seen incredible subs change the game in the Premier League? Manchester United have Ole Gunnar, embracing the super sub label back in the day. And if Liverpool is to secure a league win, they wouldn't mind relying on Núñez to pop up with the goals once in a while from the bench. And who's to say he can't pull it off, especially after taking Origi's number? But here's the thing, if Núñez is going to enjoy cult hero status like him, he'll need to stick around. These days, the Uruguayan's future at Liverpool feels a bit up in the air. Is he in or out? Before we answer that, why not hit that subscribe and like button if you haven't already? Done? Great. Let's keep going. Now, there was a lot of talk about Núñez being the centerpiece of Liverpool's attack with Slot coming in, but that narrative quickly faded when Slot's first lineup against Ipswich didn't even feature him as a starter. In fact, Diogo Jota was preferred to lead the attack in the next next few matches. Núñez eventually worked his way back into the starting 11, earning 7 starts between matches 5 and 14, and in 2 of his 7 Premier League starts this season, he has managed to make his mark. He scored in Liverpool's 3-0 win over Bournemouth and their 2-0 victory against Aston Villa. But even then, consistency remains an issue. He missed 1 game due to illness and sat out of another as an unused sub. So what's the verdict? Is he more in than out? Should Liverpool stick with him, or is it time to rethink his role? I want to hear what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's talk about it. As for Núñez, he has always given off the vibe of not being fully settled at Liverpool. Just a few months ago, he wiped away almost all his Liverpool-related posts from Instagram after a shaky performance in a 4-2 win at Spurs. It had fans wondering, was he fed up or just frustrated? Lately, he's been trying to show some more love to the club, posting pictures of himself in the Liverpool jersey after games, but just when you think he's back on board, he goes and likes an Instagram post linking him with a move to AC Milan. Well, some Liverpool fans have made their opinion known with tweets like this one. It was only a few months ago that Núñez was deleting every mention of Liverpool from his Instagram, and now he's liking posts linking him with Milan. Problems off the pitch? Useless on the pitch. Given he's our record signing, he has to be up there with our worst signings ever. That was in January, and I bet this ex-user is probably singing another tune, especially with Núñez's recent performances. Now, whatever the case might be with the 25-year-old, his availability will always be a huge factor for Liverpool. He might not be a guaranteed starter, but with Jota's fitness concerns and a packed schedule ahead, Núñez still has plenty of opportunities to make a big impact this season. Liverpool's hunt for more silverware demands contributions from every player, and Núñez has shown he can step up when called upon. And check out this interesting stat. Of the 14 games Núñez has started this season, Liverpool have won 12, drawn 2, and lost none. That's an impressive 85.7 win percentage. In those matches, the Reds have averaged 2.5 goals per game, slightly better than the 2.3 goals per game in the 18 matches where he hasn't started. And when it comes to those games without Núñez in the lineup, Liverpool's win percentage drops down to 72.2%, with 13 wins, 3 draws, and 2 losses. The difference may not be massive, but it's enough to suggest that Liverpool are marginally more efficient when Núñez is in the starting 11. But the big question is, will he be in Liverpool's starting 11 next season? Or could we see him making a move to the Middle East if Saudi Arabia comes calling? Reports surfaced at the beginning of the season that Saudi champions Al Hilal made a verbal bid of £70 million for Núñez. However, Liverpool weren't interested in that offer and reportedly slapped an £85 million price tag on the Uruguayan. They are apparently determined to get at least £75 million for him, refusing to settle for anything less. We don't know what the future holds for Núñez and Liverpool, so for now, we can sit back and just watch what the stoppage time hero has got in store for us. So there you have it, Darwin Núñez, a player who's been at the heart of some of Liverpool's most dramatic moments. Whether he's coming off the bench to score late winners, or finding ways to make an impact when it matters, his clutch performances are impossible to ignore. What do you think? Should Liverpool keep Núñez as a regular starter, or is he more effective as a super sub? Do you think he can become a true Liverpool legend, or will his time at Anfield be short-lived? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And before you go, make sure to hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. And yes, you'll want to stick around by clicking the next video. We've got another exciting video here that you won't want to miss.